untethered. I don't like to leave things untethered. My cat came jumping out of his box because he thinks he's going to be on camera doing something stupid. I'm here to tell him, no, you're not. You heard me. You're not going to be doing anything dumb on camera. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You like to argue with me every time about this subject. We're not having this conversation about this subject today, Taco. You do weird things on camera. You know what you do. You hear him talking back to me? All right. So, okay. So let's get this done because I told you before, we got a huge transition we have to go through. And there's a lot of stuff we're going to be doing back and forth. So it's going to be interesting going to this next level. It's a big move for us. Okay, so are we still doing business with customers? Yeah, actually we do still do business with customers. In between trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this, there's going to be a conflict of issues, dealing with companies and stuff like that. Because again, companies do not like it when you have regular pricing on websites because they plan to sell it for like a package deal or a little bit more. Maybe they're going to do business with another company. Sure enough, he did exactly what I told him he was going to do. He's going to clean himself right there. He's off camera. I knew you were going to do that. Oh, you do some jerky stuff, man. You're a jerk sometimes, I swear. Anyway, so we do business with companies. So we're figuring a way how to do both. Actually, quite frankly, I would like to do both, to tell you the truth. But we have to figure a way around this to do it. So we'll figure that one out. But anyway, yeah, we still plan to do business with customers because I do business with customers out here. I got individuals that I bump into when I give off my information on my business card, which I'm going to be going up today, get more information up, passing out. I'm having people lock onto my business card, which I'm having fun with that thing. But anyway, I got to do something here while I'm here too, on top of my page, because we could be doing something while I'm having this conversation. So yeah, I do plan to do business with customers. Why I am actually online, definitely. Well, I'm confused. I'm working on some different projects right now in my head. I do plan to do business with customers, yes. So our website, marketplace, we decided it would not be going any place. I'm thinking that it would have to go somewhere because I've been to this before, but there are other ways around it that we can actually keep our prices and our website intact. Because I'm looking at Dollar Days, I'm looking at Petro. All those companies have websites and stuff like that, and they do business with companies. So yeah, the companies just on the other hand just would get a discount. They would get a discount on the products that we sell them. That's what they would get. If they're selling them for a little bit higher, I mean, it's basically you can't buy the product like anywhere else. You would have to go through them. So you know, and chances are, wait, no, I forgot about that. No, there is an area there I forgot about. That's if we're doing distributorship. Distributorship has that issue. So a distributorship contract would have that conflict. The other one wouldn't have it. I don't even know why I didn't think about that because we're not planning to do distributorship contracts at all, period. They're a headache. I don't plan to go near those things at all, period. They're definitely headaches. If we're selling to a company is just using it for their own use. They're putting it in to upgrade their screens and where we're going to have it at. That's what a company's going to do with it. But as for distributorship's different. They're going to actually resell the product. That's the difference between the distributorship. Companies are going to come in, like we're doing business with the office down the street, and when all their screens convert to black technology, that's something they're doing for their own personal use. They have no plans on selling it. So we can do both. As long as we don't go near distributorship. We don't go near distributorship contracts, we're good. So yeah, I guess we can do both. All right, so with that being said, gotta figure that one out for me. Boom! I need to do me a demonstration on this gray screen paint we made here. This right here, this should be there by June the 1st. I'm looking at the tracking. And got a couple of 100 more people been sending me emails on the tracking. Like, yeah, we're tracking this thing. We'll see when it gets there. Now, for those you don't know, there's a YouTuber by the name of Crow Screen Paint Crow1176. That's with his old name. His new name is Crow3D. He's changed his name quite a few times. We do ours, but we do it for basically for the company and fluctuating and trying to figure out exactly what products we're selling and what name we're going to choose is going to go well with the company. So, and I got to go over to Family Dollar too and drop my information off over there too on my card. Anyway, so 'cause I know people over there, I know people everywhere. When I told them when I get the cards, I'll lock them in. But anyway, so he's been doing a lot of awful videos about our products, a lot of awful videos, and a lot of lies. And he's going to have to go to court for this. We were going to court over this because, again, he did some very awful things, and now he has to answer for them. But until then, he seems to have a lot of time on his hands, so we sent him up a package. This is a tracking number right there. If you want to take a note, there's the tracking number that's on transit to his company. Now he says his business is not in business anymore because he removed the website. But the problem he has here is LLC is a still standing LLC, and the reason why his business is still intact, and it's not up to him. In order to get rid of a business, you have to contact and you have to put in an application, and you have to pay a process fee to dissolve the LLC. Other than that, the business is actually still standing. So you really can't say I'm not doing business anymore, neither anymore. And that's basically about it. Now you have to dissolve an LLC. Once you apply for LLC, you have to dissolve them. So it's easier if your business doesn't have an LLC and you want to dissolve it. You just go and just remove everything that has anything to do with the business whatsoever, and you just never go back to that again because you're no longer doing that type of business. Problem we have with him is he's still advertising on his YouTube channel of him selling these products. So that being said, he's still somehow running that mess at the end of the day. I don't know if he's taking invoices, because invoices, you don't require to have a website for invoices or anything like that. But he's doing something to try to get money out of people. Well, to nip it all in the butt, like I said, we're taking this company to court anyway for fraud. We sent them a package. And that package is his own product. So mine's like this because I left mine so I can figure out which one mine was out of the mixes we made. Mine has, let me see, I gotta put those ingredients in too. I should have copied and pasted because I gotta put that crap in all over again. Let me see. Mine has his ingredients what he made for the Metallica Mix 2.0. 2 tablespoons of black paint into a quart of white paint. So we sent them down technically his own paint. And then we made an upgrade version of it that has mica in it. So one has 2 tablespoons, it's a little darker, 3 tablespoons of black paint, flat black, into a quart of white paint, and a scoop, a teaspoon of mica. Mine right here is a little bit more advanced. Mine has 2 tablespoons of black paint, same as the other one, except for mine has 2 tablespoons of mica in mine. So mine's a little bit more advanced than what he was selling out. So we've done this test before. Customers have done this test before. As I told you before, if a customer, as we put those demonstrations against the Cinemax versus the Network Gray, we push those campaigns toward the customers. If the product was not matching, we would have found a video by now by some customers showing us a video saying, hey, look, this stuff doesn't match. You're a liar. You know what I mean? That's why we did all that talk on camera. That's why we did all that talking, to get the customers to do it, because we know darn well he wasn't going to do it. So we pushed it toward the customers. And that's why you can't find any demonstrations of anyone calling us a liar, because it matched. And what happened when he did it? It matched. There you go. There you go. Enough said. That's what we want to use in court against him, showing that that product doesn't match. He'll have to do the demonstration in court either way. Doesn't make a difference. But anyway, that's what that tracking number stands for. That tracking number right there is basically the item that we sent to his business. Now, again, if he cries and says, hey, look, my business is, I don't sell anymore. We have several videos of his YouTube channel showing recently he's been advertising and marketing this product on his YouTube channel. I told you, you're being monitored. We also, too, can show that the LLC is delinquent, that he's missing sensitive documents, therefore he cannot dissolve the LLC, which means therefore the company is still standing. Let me see. Just pull this up for a minute because I didn't want to make this video about this, but I do like to back up what I said. As I told before, people, if you say things on YouTube, social media, anything on this unit device, and it gets out there and it's a lie, you can be sued for it. So we back everything up. That's why we never have attorneys from anybody or any party saying, hey, you said this, that, and the other, because I back everything up. All right. So to find his company and the address, which is very important because the address is attached to the business. You can't say, hey, he doxed my address. You can't say, well, you ship stuff to my business. Now, if I ship stuff to him, I'd be in trouble. We ship stuff to the business. That's why it's marked. When we made the shipping label, it's name, company's address, blah, 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 blah. That's how you do it. Now, when you send stuff here, you can't do that. You know why? Because number one, we have a track history of you in police records over in Allentown Police Department showing your criminal activity and violation of copyrights and violation of terroristic threats and violation of doxing and so forth and so forth. So there's a track record already there. Mine, nothing at all. You know, I do background checks on my own stuff, right? My record is absolutely spotless. Yep. A spotless record. So imagine my record versus yours. Not going to go well in court. And on top of that, my technology and what I've been selling, I've been around longer than you have. I've sold more product than you have. I have more credibility to my name than you have at the end of the day. And my stuff, I can bring into a courtroom and do exactly what it said it does. You, on the other hand, can't do that. All right, then. Well, that proves for credibility. So pretty much just go, again, LLC, that perjury thing. So let's go over to basically what we're going to look up for is LLC, and it's going to be search California or search CA. So you go to, we already have it here. You press on that, and it'll bring you to the first one at the very top. This is where you go to. You click here. This is California Business Search for LLCs. Click on that right there. Now you can say we can search for his. Well, what would be the point of it? Mine doesn't have a delinquent on it. I have nothing on my account saying this delinquent. It says basically on because we don't post our information on our LLCs, but mine is being dissolved. You know why I can dissolve mine? I don't have a delinquent LLC. That's why. Now you just put in the basic keyword, which is simple. Pro Cinemax Mix LLC. It'll spin for a bit. There we go, loading up, and then you'll see at the bottom, you'll see this right here. All you have to do is click on this. It'll bring you to his account, and right there you will see there's in red lettering, there's a very sensitive document that needs to be taken care of. It's called a statement due date. It's very important you actually fill these out. I have a few friends who do business in California. It's a very important document. They saw it and said, man, these guys are in a lot of trouble because they're going to keep hounding him every day, and then they're going to get tired of it and realize we've been emailing this guy, we've been sending him messages, we've been sending letters, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. They're going to send someone to his front door. Either it's going to be a process server for court if it goes that far, or basically they're going to send him a letter saying, hey, look, you got to go, come in, we have to talk to you. And this is where it's going to be a problem. You know why? That's a government building. So he's going to have state ID to enter. Told you. Got to be careful about doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. So there's the address right there. Now you can't say your address is being doxed. You made your address public domain. That's what you did. Now he got mad because we showed this address and he decided to dox my sister's address and all the other places I were at. That's what got you in trouble. Those my LLCs are not registered. It's shipped there. I get my items shipped there. That's basically about it. So any important documents that I feel that I don't want them because they have a lockbox. My box is unlocked. It goes there. But LLCs were not set up there. They were shipped there. You know why I only don't set my LLCs there, Mr. Fernando? My LLCs are set up for my company's website. That's where it's supposed to go. My license is set up for my company's website. My DBA, my EIN, they're all set up for my company's website because that's where the company is officially at, on a website. Now, the minute I switch over to brick and mortar, this is why he doesn't understand business. So I can explain things he doesn't know. over the top of his head. He doesn't know. The minute I change things over to brick and mortar, then I got to go back in and I have to change everything to the official address again, because you can go back in and change them at will when you have to, but you have to put in the application process to do so. So that's what you would have to do. If your business's website, you should put it under your domain name and not under the address of your apartment, because now what you did was you actually didn't have permission. You put an LLC on top of another person's property, which I'm surprised they didn't see that coming. Like, they didn't say, hey, there's somebody's address there. Do you have permission? You probably asked him if he had permission to put that there. Because he said, look, I'm in an apartment. I need to put the LLC here. And it's funny because that's what he accused me of when I was over at Julian Street. He contacted these people and said, hey, look, this guy has his LLC connected to your building. I have the emails, Mr. Fernando, to back up what I'm saying. You literally made that statement to these people. And I said, no. When they came down to see him, I said, no, not really. It's a troll we have. His name is Fernando. Fernando, do you know that your address, the information we have, has been posted multiple times in multiple agencies? When I go to the police department, they have your address. I haven't contacted California yet. And they're advising me to contact California Police Department down there, explain the situation we're having with them, so they can have someone come by the building. I'm going to be taking care of that on Monday. I'll have somebody take care of that. But the problems we've been having with you, because you have a massive report down here of all kinds of stuff. And I'm pretty sure when I contact them, they're going to ask us to give them the docket number so they can get a look at your police report that we have up here, extensive report. And mind you, when I made these statements against you, Fernando, I scanned everything, and there's a lot of stuff scanned and proving that you've done this stuff. I can have you arrested. So that's what I'm going to start the process on Monday morning. I'm going to go there and talk to somebody, get that information, and take that over. So this is, I'm going to show you from here. Now click on here. As you can see, address right there, public domain. So everybody knows right there. Now you see those numbers at the top? Those numbers at the top, if you go in and you copy and paste them, it brings up our report we've done on him. Everything from perjury on his LLC, everything from ripping customers off, or copyrights infringements against us, trademark, it's all up there. It's all up there, as we explained, right up there, so everybody can find it. Any government agency can track it down. Take this little number right here. That's his filing number. Click on that. Go to Google, get a fresh. Now, you may think at the end of the day that, hey, no, buddy. Business at the end of the day. You are still going to have to go through this. Anybody who would have taken you to court on this, you would have to back up that your stuff actually does work. Which you have been cheating and doing a lot of sneaky demonstrations, and now that's over. It's time to face the music. Put that right there. Keep that off. Well, you can keep both of them on there. Put that other one on there too. Nothing. You just did some really bad stuff, man. And you're going to have to pay for those things that you have done to make sure you get the whole thing. So I want to make sure you're honest on this. You got to pay for that. None of us here as American citizens get the right to walk into a bank, rob a bank, and police say, hey, look, you're an American citizen. Don't worry about it. You have to go to jail. That's why we have prisons down here. That's what they're for. You think those big buildings are for, with all the barbed wire sitting around it and all those guards going in and out of it? What do you think those are for? Those are for that if we commit crimes here on United States soil, we are prosecuted and we're sent to that place over there. That's what that's for. For some reason, you don't understand that. He really felt in the day that he had diplomatic immunity, which means he could basically go anywhere he wants. He can commit crimes and be sent back over. No, buddy. You got to go through the same process we got to go through. The only difference is you have immigration. We don't have immigration because we're here. We still got to go to jail for it. So, if you got two bank robbers and one doesn't have documents and one does, they're both going to jail. It doesn't make a difference. He's not going to get a get out of jail free card and get deported over to where he came from and get away from that nonsense. No, he got to serve time here just like the other one does. The only difference is there's a different agency that comes to pick him up. The other one, we just get arrested by the everyday police. I don't get how he didn't get that one. I don't understand that one. I literally have to break this thing down sometimes, I swear. It baffles me. All right, it's hit here real quick. Now all we have to do is hit this number. and boom. That's it. That's all it takes. So we did a massive report on this guy, on his filing number, information, all kinds of stuff. Jamie, everything that you thought you got away with is now, I told you my stuff works with the search engines, is now broadcasted everywhere. We go to court, the judge can bring you up on that number. That's all it takes. So the judge will pull things on the internet, and they do. They can pull up all types of stuff on you. There's stuff that all kinds of crimes you committed. It's all there on that little number right there. Now, let's go over here. The tracking number. This is going to his address right there. That's the tracking number. Everybody has this tracking number. Everybody. ADS forms, everybody. You want to put the tracking number everywhere. Everybody's looking forward to see if he opens up this package or not. Now, mine is his own product. We're going to make a sample of our own using the mix we made here. This is ours. We use it doing his ingredients. For those of you who have never seen the ingredients before, let me show you the video. It's called Crows Black and White Paint Challenge. Black and White Paint House Paint Challenge. But we have to put his name at the end to do it. Bring it up. So we posted this multiple times. Again, there it is right there. I told you. Pops up first. Crows Black and White Paint House Paint Challenge. You can put that down. It pulls up either way. This is the actual video right here showing us taking the video, going in, and making the product ourselves against products we purchased from him. And they were identical match. You know what projector we used in that demonstration? A Chrissy 1080p 5000 lumen projector at 1920 by 1200. Yeah, big boy machine. And guess what? It matched. We did it on Picos. It matched. We did it on Ultra Short Throws. It matched. All right, so here's the video itself. And it shows you that's the outcome. Right there you see. It matched perfectly to our mixture we made here in the background. The mixture we made in the background is what we made from him. The one in the middle is the personal mix. That's the one we paid for. Now, Fernando, if someone wanted to take you to court, in which we are, you're going to get sued for this because the judge is, first thing the judge is going to request from you is, do you have any testing proving that this product wouldn't have matched if you were to sell it? You don't have any testing on your stuff. So there's the video right there. Same way we made it on camera. Same way. Doesn't make a difference. You can sit there and say, well, you know, hey, it's a different type. No, it's black paint. It's black paint. White paint is white paint. It matched. We did it over on our end. It matched. See that picture in the background? That picture shows up. You know what they say about poker face? People give off a telltale sign about something. That picture shows up in every single demonstration of committing crimes. Showed up in the Frankenstein. It's in the background. Now, as you see, he took a teaspoon, as we had our teaspoon, a tablespoon, and we took our 2 scoops. If you're wondering what that is going on in the background, that's my cell phone. He was hounding us. He was screaming and yelling at me in text, calling me a scammer and all that. But we're doing this video right here, and he was going off on camera. That was him in the background. So that's you right there, right? All right, 2 scoops. I don't know why you call it Metallica mix, because there's no Metallica. Mine is Metallica mix. Mine has actual mica in it, silver mica. So I don't know what you call it Metallica mix for. See, if you go back to the beginning of the video, it says Metallica mix. There's no Metallica in that. There's no silver. There's nothing in there. Mine has silver in it. Mine's 2 scoops. With 2 scoops of mica, dark silver mica in it. Mine's more of a Metallica mix than yours. What are you talking about? This would call this the real Metallica mix because it has actual, Metallica in it. That's all that. Like, what? I'm going to add a little more to this video because I need to get all this done because I got other things to do today. I had a very busy day. I got my stuff packed up over there. We got a warm day. I'm planning to be outside and playing around. Yeah. And for those of you saying, I thought you were not going to make any more videos, because we're not going to be able to make any more videos. We're not going to be here. You see, my units I'm looking for are huge. I'm not going to be here. Shit, I got something I'm going to be doing pretty soon. I got a whole new setup. I got a grant coming in. So, yeah, I want me out. What? Till here. I got stuff I got to do. I still got stuff I got to tidy up. I'm still doing answering questions on this and answering questions on that. You know, I'm on more places than just YouTube. I'm in multiple different sites. I'm going to go back to my own site and update over there about what's going on. As I said before, the mashups are going to be on here. The demonstrations pre-record outside are going to be on the other YouTube channel, which is called On The Go, because we're going to be all over the place. We're never going to be in one place, we're going to be everywhere. Recording there, because that screen right there allows us to go anywhere we want, so might as well, you know, have fun with that. Or I want to do on the bridge. I'm dying to do a demonstration on the bridge. And since I cleared everything with City Hall, and I spent all that time in the laundry room, which, you know, I was teased for being in the laundry room, but while I was in there, I got a ton of paperwork done, which now allows me to go anywhere I want in the city and be able to do a demonstration without getting hit with the fine because I did all my paperwork. See? Pretty soon I have a nice little crew with me. See my bag over here? My bag, I'm telling you something, everything works out for a reason, and I'll tell you why. Hey, Taco. See my bag over here? It fits! The projector I purchased fit perfectly in the bag. With my charger, my serger, because I need a serger, my stuff needs to burn out, my cords and stuff. My portable fits in there. Everything fits in my little bag. Everything. The whole projector, everything's in there. It fits perfectly. Man, I tell you, I plan to be everywhere. And I got my portable screen over there. Pretty soon, I'm picking me up a RetroPie, so I can game all around Allentown, and I got my card, my business card. That allows me, at first I thought me passing out business cards. With that digital card, like click, 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 oh my goodness. I updated the website, put some new cool stuff on there about what we're doing. We're going to be doing a portable screen setup on there. I'm going to be setting it up pretty soon, showing it off. Oh, I got to put videos on that too. We got that whole section for that theater on the go. We got to get that done too on top of that. So we got a lot to do. But until then, I got to get the loose ends, had to be tied up. This has to be tied up. So we're going to paint our surface with this right here on here, because this is the real version. Actually, technically, this is the real version of the Metallica Mix 2.0 because it has Metallica in it. I don't know where he came up saying that it has the Metallica mix. And I remember reading in the comment section, which I don't have, but I do remember in the comment section where people were saying, how are you calling it Metallica mix when it doesn't have any form of silver in it? And they're right. Black and white paint is a Metallica mix. I told you already, he lied right there, right from the door. Can't call it something that is not. You can say, well, it's Metallica. Well, how would it be Metallica? It would have to have something in it to say that it makes it Metallica. It has kind of silver base, something in it. Doesn't have that in there. So that's a lie right there from the door. And it was trying to show people at the end of the day that all paints are just made from black and white paint. There's no point in paying money for anybody else's paint. You can make it for free. That's what he was trying to do. So he was trying to slam us at the end of the day by saying we're ripping people off because our paint's just like his. Yeah, you remember that campaign? We do. We got it all documented, Mr. Fernando. He was trying to tell people that we had the same paint. And then we had our technology got dark. I mean, it's ultra black paints, right? We were doing this testing while we were doing the other paints on the Crystal Age paint was a little lighter. He started saying that our paints came up too dark and they were unwatchable. And you should never buy a black paint because it's not worth your time. That's what we started on that campaign. Man, I cannot wait to get you in the courtroom. Boy, you just know where you're going to be to go in that place right now. Right now, you got a package coming to your door, which again, this is going to add another nail in the coffin. He's going to have to do this demonstration. If he fails to do the demonstration, if the package comes back to us, this is not going to go well for him in court. Because again, it's your own stuff. So, yeah. All right, let me get some paper, which I was supposed to buy paper today, wasn't I? I was supposed to buy paper a couple days ago. I need paper, because we don't have any paper. Nowhere to be found. Let me come over here. Hey, what's up, chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo. Paper. I did everything else right, so I need to mark mine off. Mine marked off. Let me see. Mine's going to call. Don't start acting rambunctious, Taco, because you get like that. You get weird and rambunctious and run around and do crazy stuff when I'm in a recording. I have to put you in your bunker. Done working. All right, ink pen, ink pen, ink pen. We're going to call this the real Metallica makes, because it definitely has Metallica in it. If you ever saw the video demonstration, I'll post the link below. We did the video. We made everything real. Metallica. Because it actually has it in it. Metallica Mix 2.0. So we have the real one, because ours actually has it in it. Where he doesn't have it in his at all. Alright? Alright, that's ours. We have the real one here. That's what he should have. Mic in that. Alright, some tablespoons of silver. Or something in there. As you can see, even when he was giving away for free, he didn't know what he was doing. Alright, now we're going to get a piece of plastic, put it up here. We're going to paint over the surface. We're going to put it against our product we have up here. We're going to take it outside. We're going to do all that crazy stuff with it. Everything. Keep in mind, when we had this, we made this mixture, we did have this other screen paints. We had the personal mix. We had the Cinemax. We had all of them over there. All those light gray mixes, we had them over there. And guess what? Every single one of them matched. We did a reversal using the same technique you use here. We used a black base first. We used 6 tablespoons of white paint. We got the UV mix. We did 5 tablespoons of white paint. We got the Frankenstein. The Frankenstein UV mix are off by 1 shade. We show you in the demonstration on the blacklist. We take both and we turn them over. We say, look, they're one off by 1 shade. So that's pretty much all he's been doing. We're just taking black and white paint and adding more shades to it of black or less and saying it's a whole different mix. Put no testing underneath of it. Stick it in a dark environment. Hit it with a high-powered projector and charge people for something that you literally did at home. This is what some of the charges that are coming against him, because he committed mass fraud against consumers on basically no testing on the products that we just put together fast, rush items, and he used a lot of smoke and mirrors to try to steal from his customers. That's why he kept pushing over and over again about calibrating. He pushed that through his whole entire videos because, again, calibrating would be required, especially for screens like that, because the colors wouldn't come up properly. And this would probably try to clean up some of the mess that his screens weren't producing those colors that they were supposed to be producing, by saying that, hey, look, if you calibrated, you would have gotten this. But since you chose not to calibrate, this is what you're dealing with. This is his way of covering up, trying to get out of things, much like the shipping policy. If you open it up, it's stuck on your property. If it lands on your property, you're stuck with it, no exchange, nothing, because he made a statement by saying that, hey, you know, if you open this up and send it back, I don't know if you tamper with it. So pretty much you just accused everybody of being a thief of tampering with your products. You have to have some kind of forgiveness room in there for the customer to be able to have a little move around room in there to say, hey, look, maybe if I send this back to you, I've got this problem. And he can't do batch numbers. He doesn't test his stuff. He doesn't know where to troubleshoot his products because he doesn't test. As you saw in the demonstration we showed you in the video of the final form, the final test of the Frankenstein, we stuck it in a window, it was absolutely horrible. It looked exactly the same way as the customer who opened up his windows and the screen washed out. There you go. That's what a lot of those customers went through. The only people that get up there and brag about that product are the trolls who support him. And the trolls who support him, they were able to round up every single one of them. Yes, I told you, you have people online gathering information. So you individuals, just because we don't mention you on camera, we got you on file. That file was going to include you into this whole ring that you guys went online and committed these mass scams against other customers. That's what you did. We can back it up in court that you did it. So you're going to be involved in this. Even if you think your name has never been pulled up in any videos and you think I'm clear, no, you're not clear. We got your videos. Just so you know what's coming. And keep in mind, these guys are squealers. So they're going to squeal like there's no tomorrow. They're going to be hit with a lot of time. They know you've done some stuff. Guess what? You're in the mix, so to speak. All right, let's get some something up here to paint this in because I want to get this done. I don't want to be in here going this all day. I have things to do. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mr. Rambunctious? I'm running all over the place. You back your place. Then they're going crazy. All right, so we got some up here. I want to make this about both. We do, like I said, for our customers, clear that up. But also to get this done because, again, we have to handle this. This has to be done. I think he was hoping that we would forget about this. Maybe he was hoping. But no, we're not. I'm not that type of person. I have to have this logged in for the blacklist. And it's just going on the blacklist so you know. So the fact that we asked him to do this, as a matter of fact, I got to go and update the blacklist. The fact that we asked you to do this demonstration will be on the blacklist. It'll be posted for all to see. So it's not going to be lost in the YouTube archives. It's going to be on the blacklist. All right, this is the paint we made. And we made it using his ingredient with the color of that right there. This actually has mica in it. So it's the same thing as 2 tablespoons of flat black paint. Hey, 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 hey. No, you don't. No, you don't. Go somewhere. Go, 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 go. Go. I caught you. See? I knew it. I told you. In your bunker. Get in your bunker. Get in there. Get in there. I told you you're going to do it. No, you don't. Inside. That fast, Mr. Sneaky. All right, so what we have here, before we got interrupted by my cat over there doing weird stuff again, this is his product right here. This is 2 tablespoons of flat black paint. Doesn't make a difference what kind. We used some old paint we found in the basement, still matched it. Oh, I forgot to show you that real quick. For those of you who are thinking like, well, wait a minute, Bert, because some people have never seen this video before. They've never seen it before, so we got to make sure everybody sees this at the end of the day. Let's bring the stand down a little bit more. There we go. So this is our results. I'll show you from here. All right, so you can see that's the ingredients over there. My card's over here. All right. So as we put this in, this is him making the product. So we went in and made the product ourselves, which we have right here now. Using his ingredients, basic and simple. 2 tablespoons of flat black paint into white paint. But the problem was there's no mica in there at all. There's no silver content, nothing in there. So I don't know where he would get Metallica from. We made it ourselves and put Metallica in it. Now, how many people have made this? A lot of people. A lot of people have made this product. This is why his sales dramatically dropped horribly. And this is why when he matched the house paint, it was severed completely. Because we did go in and try to see how many people were still buying this product after finding this out. No one was touching it. So he'd been out of business for quite some time. He just kept coming on YouTube to try to put on a front. But as you can see, there's his hand, picture in the background. Very simple, basic. Now, if you're wondering why he would make this demonstration and then sell it, keep in mind, Crow used to give out products for free. And then all of a sudden, he came up and said, hey, I got to start selling the product because it's costing me a lot of money to give away for free. He lied. It wouldn't cost you a lot of money. The first initial, like this, would cost you money, and then you just put down the ingredients, and everybody just makes it from there. It's not costing me any money to put this away for free. It cost me one time to make the product, and that's it. Everybody makes it themselves. It's like a recipe for a cake. All right, so we go in and we make it ourselves. As you can see, we make our own right there. So let me bring this down a little bit so you can see it. So we make our own. Same thing, just like his. And this is right when the 12s are out, because the 12 in the background. And then after making the product, there's the surface right there. As you can see, we paint over top of it and watch the videos. It's all over Google and YouTube. So we paint it in. It's the exact same color we have here. Same thing. Same exact color. Yeah, get off of this, man. Let go. There we go. Same exact color we have over there. And then you'll notice that it does the exact same thing. Mine may be a little dark because I got that dark mica in mine, which he's supposed to have in it. But, you know, he sold you guys whatever. Now go to my drawer. You see those sample sheets in my drawer, Mr. Fernando? Those are all the testing we did on all different... Guess what else is in there? And there's also, too, a parallax sits in there, too, also, along with all the certified screens we have in there. Yeah, you act like we just did that demonstration. I've been done those demonstrations a long time ago. So let me grab your sample sheet out of there. We got all your stuff in there. There's your gray or dark gray mix right there, your Frankenstein. And there is your personal mix right there. Yeah, then we go in and put it right against the screen over here. There it is right there. So the green tape, that's this product right there. Right against there with the green tape. Shows that it matched. I was like, wow, it's an actual match. Of course it matched, buddy. That's why I said, you know, if the judge ever, if you get a lawyer and your lawyer says, hey, this guy has no experience in grade paint, that'll be the dumbest mistake you've ever said. I was making it for you. And more successful than you. A lot more successful than you. So with that being said, I think I would be more experienced in that field than you. Yes, so I know exactly what I'm doing. Now you see people how it matched? It matched everything. Look, watch me go to the transition. It faded out. Just like you watched the Cinemax do when they showed the old logo with the LG and the fit. Yeah, it faded out. No surprise. Nothing special about that stuff. But he went on camera, and that's the problem. We have oodles of videos of him talking about his product and claiming to do all these things that it couldn't do. And you use high-powered projectors in dark environments to trick and manipulate your customers. Now, with those kind of counts of fraud, he's up there. He has about 130, 140. From what we counted, from what we gathered, all we needed, he's almost close to a 200 mark of fraud. That's very serious jail time. He's going to have to be to prove that his products did exactly as he claims they did. They pulled the contrast levels, the color, all that. And he's done. There's so much stuff on him, it's not even funny. So that package coming there, he's going to have to do something. Because keep in mind, he's still going to have to do the same demonstration in court. Now, if you go in and you darken your products, we are going to know that already. Customers who own your products are going to know your products don't look like that. So don't try to make your products seem darker than what they are. Because, you do stuff like that. And on top of that, if you have to cheat, and this is sad, if you have to cheat against your own product that you gave away for free, that's even worse. So you can see, yeah, it did the exact same thing as a mix that we purchased. Purchased mix versus free mix. Yeah, we got scam. It's a scam. All right, let's get that surface up here because I'm going to get this thing painted in. Let's see what we're using. The rollers over here. This stuff out of trouble. From now on, Taco, I try to give you the benefit of the doubt. I try to give you second chances, and you do it every single time like clockwork. He does that every single time. So from now on, he goes in the bunker because he can't be trusted. He does that kind of stuff all the time now. Can't be trusted. All right, got ourselves a nice little over here. Right here, we're going to make our own sample sheet. We're going to put it against the cinematic. Since it says something about making the cinematic. And keep in mind, as you notice this time around, he didn't claim to have it. Of course he didn't claim to have it because he's being sued on that. There's several documents coming to him. The reason why your documents are taking so long, we got a lawyer going over everything. I want to make sure everything's legit for the courts. But, as I said before, he claimed to know how to make it. Well, if you know how to make it, you're missing a lot of tests. Because we're taking the court on that. You made statement that you can make the product, right? So all the tests that we have proven and made on this product, claiming that it is, you're going to have to show proof because you have a track record now of trying to bootleg, copy, and cause problems for our company by making false claims that you know how to make our products and not to buy from us. In that case, Mr. Fernando, you're going to have to show in a court of law that the cinematic that you claim that you made does the exact same thing our product does, which means you have to match all tests demonstrated, including the one we've shown outside. If you don't have those tests available and ready for the courts, you'll be hit with lawsuits and criminal charges. So get it together quickly. All right, I'm going to paint the surface in. This is what we made. Now all he did was go in and he made products that were on the market for quite some time. They were making this years ago. Many, many years ago, they were making this. There you go. Get a look at it again. It's also a matched network grade 773 because it's almost the same color as network grade 773. Do we need to stir this up? No, we're going to stir it up. That's basically about it. Take a roller and go over our surface like so. And that's it. Sorry about that. We covered up our desk. We're going to jack up our desk. That's it. We're done. My version's better. This is the Metallica Mix 2.0, the real. We call it real Metallica Mix because it actually has silver in it. Unlike the stuff he was making, didn't have any silver in it. So that's done. So we're going to use this surface against our product over here. Now mind you, Jamie, I didn't make your exact version. I made an upgrade version of it. I actually put mica in it, which you did not do. I don't know why you came with the name Metallica Mix. That's another problem you're going to have in court. That video is going to be used against you in court in two different ways. One, it shows that your product you match house paint, or this product you have. Two, it shows that you were selling the product on false pretense by saying that the product had a Metallica texture to it, or something involving Metallica, and claim basically it didn't. It says it right there in your video, right? We never seen any Metallica being mixed into it at all whatsoever. If you had the Metallica, say, well, I mix it in later, later's not good enough. You gotta have all ingredients on the table for everybody to see what you're mixing in. Like when you're making a cake, you notice all ingredients are on the table. They don't say, oh, we add in eggs later on. They don't never do that. They have all ingredients there to show you what you need to put in to make it. So can't use that line either. Oh, man. So let's get that to dry. I'm going to be using that outside. Do you think that'll work outside at 300 lumens? I'm curious. I think maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll take it out there and see what happens. See if it picks up at 300 lumens. You claim this product to be just like a cinematic, right? So if you tell your product is better than the cinematic as your claim, and you're saving people money, you're saying your product's much more superior, then that should read outside at 300 lumens. So let's see if it works or not. Oh, we're going to give you full credit for this. We're going to put your name up there, just so you know, so you don't think that your name is definitely going to be embedded in this thing. So when we do our demonstration of his product outside, or his advanced version of it, because we made it better for you, you're going to basically give you full credit. Your name is going to go right up there. Put my product here. Try this. So you're getting full credit for this, buddy. It's your product, right? I'm going to put the link below of this video. So I hope we answered both questions. One, we answered, basically, are we doing business with customers? Yes, we are. Because I got customers out here I'm doing business with. And I forgot about, I'm thinking about distributorship. We're not doing distributorship. We're not going near those things ever again. That was the worst thing I ever went through in my life, doing distributorship contracts. I'll never do those again, ever. Companies that are using it to redesign their setup, or upgrade their setup with our technology, yeah, because they're not going to be reselling it. They're just going to be having it. As a matter of fact, I got people coming to do installs for them. There's some people, even though it's easy to do, they still don't want to do the installs themselves. They'd rather have somebody come and paint it for them. So they'll hire their own painters, or we'll just have our own crew come in and paint the script and be done with it. So it'll be like a small charge, but that's pretty much what it'll be. But we do advise you paint it yourself. It's very easy. But some people feel like they're really going to mess it up. Like they're really going to mess it up and they don't want to do it. So, you know, each his own. It's the same thing I went through when I was with computers. You know, I was trying to teach this female how, this lady, a friend of mine, how to install in 3.5 optical drive, and she was just terrified. She just terrified all those wires and stuff. She'd pull something out, she would damage her machine that she invested all this money into. Like, no, it's really easy. Just turn it off, man. Just take out those two screws on the side, pull out the whole entire bay. Well, first you got to snap off that front around it because they got the interface around it. Once you snap that off, it's pretty clean. Just there's two pieces at the top, two on the side. Sometimes I had one on the side, two on the side, or one on the side. Snap it off and pull it off. That's it. And you just pull out the entire bay. Take out the two screws, pull the whole thing out, and you we're going to disconnect your, if it's old, it's IDE cables, but not SATA, and connect your power supply. That's all. If you're afraid you're going to get the mix up, you can't, because usually with most PCs, you don't have extra power cables like IDEs are basically SATA cables or Molexes just laying around for the sake of just laying around. They're pretty much just all tied up tidy in the corner somewhere, just in case if you have to use them, if you're experiencing that field. But most likely you won't see them just laying all over the place like that. There's a lot of cable management going on in there. So anyway, yeah, I was teaching her how to do it, and she just didn't want to do it. She's like, I'd just rather pay you. So yeah, people will pay you just go in and paint up a screen when technically you can show them, like, look, it's this easy. They just don't want to do it. So that's okay. It's cool. You know, we charge a little bit for it, but you know they pay it. No problem. We're going there and knocking out and be done. Now, why be in there? No, no, no. I'm hiring some people to bring them in. Like I said, this is a big jump for us. We got people coming on board to help us out with this. So again, it's going to be a little bit hard for some people in court who got on YouTube. See, the problem was on YouTube, you thought that we wouldn't go this far. You thought that, okay, this guy's just going to be online, so pretty much I can see all kinds of lies about him, because the chances of his stuff going from here to there is not going to happen. Oh, man, that is going to hurt you pretty bad. We had so many people have been around this technology, it is not even funny to sit there and make a statement that it goes dark, you can't see it, it's impossible to watch. We got all those demonstrations, which we know a lot of them went missing, but we got them all collected. That's going to cost you $1 million a pop. That's a very serious accusation to make against a company. Very serious to say that our products were going dark. That's almost as worse as a voting machine company where they're saying the machines were rigged. Yeah, that's a very serious lawsuit. That's $1 million and up. You're going to get hit pretty hard for this one. And all these people have seen our technology. Are you kidding me? How would that even be possible? See, because you thought we were going to be stuck online only. You weren't going anywhere. Now you're in a lot of trouble. So if you made that statement, I hope you got a lot of money because you're going to need it. Find somebody who can lend it to you. You're going to need it. Those lawsuits start at $1 million. That's where they start from. And they go up from there. So I hope you got it. Oh, and by the way, they do carry prison time. So you know that. Anywhere from a year to anywhere up to 30 years, depending on who you're involved with and depending on basically how much nonsense you've been spreading all over the internet about our company. So they do carry jail time. So, giddy up. It's going to be a very interesting year. With some people. Now see, got to be careful about that. So you thought at the end of the day that whoever got caught up in his nonsense or him calling us a scammer, you probably thought, oh, his product's not going to go anywhere. Oh, yeah, you've done the research on my company? Did you even bother going into my YouTube channel and checking out all the different places where my technology had customer reviews? Did you look into any of that? Oh, you thought they were all fake at the name. I can easily get you a 302. You know how fast I can get you a 302? If you come in and make a statement after we're all over the place and say, well, you know, I thought its products were fake and this, that, and the other. You get crazy? You know where my stuff pops up at? I can just type in a simple word and not even involving my company's name. And we're all over Google. How did you not see that coming? But you thought at the end of the day, hey, let's harass this guy. Knowing he's behind, we're all behind, no one's going to find us. Our technology is protected by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He knows where you're at. That's why we know where you're at. You understand how that works? He knows where you're at. That's why we know where you're at. That's why we can find you. You know what the Holy Ghost is, right? Holy Ghost is a divine spirit, a connection between man and God once you become saved. It's like a communication that Lord talks to you and speaks to you, gives you understanding and guidance. That's what it is. It's like what some people call the third eye. That's what it is. That connection protects us. It tells us things that we need to know. It gives us a more insight on the world and things around us. And even the devil himself, it protects us on those levels. So, if you are doing things and we can't find you, all we have to do is go to him and pray. He knows where you're at. He gives us directions and information to find out exactly where you're pinpointed at. So we can begin the process of getting due justice. That's why there's no escape. I told you before there's no escape. In the timeline, how complicated you may think this is, that when his time comes up, his time to call you back, because you're not here forever. However way you're going to leave off this earth, whether it be heart attack, car accident, whatever it's going to be, you're going either way. It doesn't make a difference, but you're going to go. Your time's going to come up. And you're going to answer in his law for the crimes you committed. Crimes you committed with other people, crimes you committed here, there, and crimes with us. You're still going to answer for it. This one is different. This one, there is no bail. There is no get out of jail free card. There is no, well, I'm going to get sued and that's the worst of it. No, over there is eternal damnation. That's where you'll be at forever. But here's the thing. The devil's got you so twisted up full of hatred and anger that he can keep you in one spot. He's got you locked in. You're 100% guaranteed to join him in hell. Because he knows that he can keep this going with you, but you can't, you're not harming me. You're harming yourself. Do you see how this is going? It's like watching a ping pong match, but each one of the ping pongs, one's made out of a stunner and the other's made out of fire. Either one you hit, you're still going to take damage. You follow the devil tries you to come at us. It doesn't attack us because we're protected by God, and God is more powerful than the devil. God's judgment falls on your head for what you have done. The devil's judgment is definitely going to be in your head because what he's got you to do. So he knows that you can't touch me because I'm protected by the blood. He knows that I'm right from the door. But he knows that he can make you think you can touch me to get you in trouble, so that way he can get you. You played that game all too easy. So either way, you're doomed. Either way, you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You were a true blue Christian, as Mr. Williams is not. You would not be committing those crimes. Which means you wouldn't be doing the devil's work. Unless Mr. Williams is trying to say that the acts that he's committing comes from God, and God is telling him to do those things, we all know that's a lie. As Christians on my channel, you know that's a darn lie. So you know he's doing acts of the devil. Because I've never met a preacher ever in my life, he's not one by the way, a minister or any of them other call, who sat there and carried on like that. They were carrying like that, they were of the devil. Not of God. There is no evil in God, so how would that be possible? There's only evil in the devil. God has no evil in him, so where would that have come from? All right then, there you go. If God had evil in him, none of us would be on this planet right now as we speak. We'd be gone. That kind of power he has at the end of the day, if he was not a merciful and good God in it, we'd be gone. No way in the world we would be here, and no way in the world. He could easily destroy this planet. It wouldn't take much to do it. He made it. So the fact that we're still here living and breathing shows how merciful God is, because he could have taken us out a long time ago. That's how that one works. All right, there we go. And see how it dried light. Can't it look dark, right? Guys, watch this. This is crazy. See? It's the same color as that. Exact same color. Told you. So if the only difference is mine has mic in it. That's what makes mine different. I have mic up. So mine's going to react much better than his because I actually have silver in my screen. Not saying I have silver and then faking it. No, I actually have silver in my screen. Now make sure my black dries. Everything dries on this because if it touches my screen, it'll damage my black screen. We don't want to damage it. We'll do that in the next video because I got 2 of these to do. Get this to dry. I had to squeeze this in here with my customers, and my customers have to go through this, but yeah, we're definitely doing business with everybody, so not a problem at all. But we have to get this in here too because, again, like I said, I'm on a bit of a, I got stuff to dismantle in here. I got stuff to take apart. The good thing about it, we didn't bring any furniture, which I'm glad. Okay. We didn't bring any furniture, so I'm glad about that. And everything's made out of cardboard. See, there you go, benefits back of cardboard. So my buddy's got an industrial paint, I'm not much on paint, shredder. It's actually attached to a truck. So I got to take all this stuff, stack it up, tape it up, take it down there, and the machine's going to shred it up into nothing. That's it. We didn't touch the walls in here. Nothing in here is touched. So we didn't touch anything at all, period. And I got a carpet cleaning crew coming in, because I always clean the carpets in any place before I leave, because I walk around in here from outside and inside. Even though I vacuum the floors in here, still, I want to deep cleanse in here, so I come in with my own carpet. I got a carpet cleaning company that I do business with. They'll come in and clean the carpet. And that's basically about it. We get to our new place. So that'll be 3 weeks from now. But right now, the transition and all that, yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Now, what brought this change on, quite frankly? The guy who walked in here did it. Because, again, that gives us a grant. We had to have somebody come here. He wanted to come and see it for himself. Because, again, it sounds crazy. We had other people in City Hall who knew about our technology. I knew a few people. Actually, I knew one guy who worked in zoning. I think it's in zoning, somewhere he works at. But I met him when I was on a daily walk and talk. I went past his house. He had beautiful motorcycles out there. It's beautiful Harley Davidson. And I got to talking about his bike, you know what I mean? Because he's not a big guy, but his bike is huge. I'm like, man, is that hard to handle? And they said, no, it's very easy. So I was getting some information about his bike and found that he actually worked down there in that section for the city. So when I was down there talking to the front desk, I know the people over there, he walked by. I was like, hey. So, you know, I knew him down there. So he knows about my technology. And down there, I showed demonstrations and videos to everybody. And they shared my stuff around and showing the kind of stuff that I do. But they still have to come in and see it. And that's what happened. fellow came and see it. So the owner of the building, when I told him, I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I saw somebody walking through, and there are cameras all through the place. And I said, yeah, that's one of the guys who came from the city. He said, well, who was it? Which one it was? And I said, I showed him the business card. He said, oh, this is the top guy. It's the top guy. It's the guy who actually runs the whole thing. He was actually here looking at everything. He was blown away by it. He kept staring at the cardboard PCs the most. He was like, these are PCs? Really? He said, these things are crazy looking. Yeah, it's PCs. He was looking at all the work we had in here. He fell in love with all of it. He said, we got to get you and get you in Allentown. We got to get you. And somewhere in Allentown, we got to get you in Allentown. He said, what can this stuff do? I explained to him. This stuff can replace TVs. It can operate in fully lit environments. All that stuff. And that's what blew him away on the lighting. We're in here. The projectors cost next to nothing, which saves them a ton of money. It saves Allentown a lot of money because expensive projectors are not required. So you're spending $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 for the machine. They spend way less than that now because of our technology. And again, you can get screens to operate anywhere they want to go, outside, inside. This brings a whole different form of technology. And they haven't seen the ceiling technology. Oh, show the ceiling technology, the floor technology, projector mapping applications. We have a huge, massive art community up here. So yeah, it plays out. It's a huge, a part. It'll put Allentown on the map. Right. And the fact that I want to push it past for them to start working on a drive-in movie theater up here with a black technology attached to it, which would be our technology. So yeah, this is a multi-million-dollar technology. Probably, my buddy said, stop saying multi-million, you're going to be higher than that. But I feel comfortable with multi-million-dollar. I don't feel like billion, yeah, it's not me. Whatever the Lord has plans and whatever he's going to have, but we already know we're going to make millions off this technology. We know it from the door. So, yeah, he was already up here. And so the grant and things that I need, he said, anything you need, let me know and we'll help you get it through. Which means we got somebody to help us push our paperwork through. We won't be just sitting up there because they know who we are, what we're all about. So with that being said, yeah, we can start looking for warehouse space. I'm saying, well, we need advertising and we need room, a lot more room. So, I believe when the Lord tells me, start looking, time to go. Start looking, time to go. Next stage is coming. Yep. And it was interesting, when I first was living in that little rented room, and this is the first time I ever rented a house, ever. Never rented a house before, ever. First time. I've been in rented rooms particularly at that time in my life. I've been in rented rooms. Everything happens for a reason. The reason why I fell into this paint, the reason why the Lord blessed me and gave me the information, because he knew everything was going to come up to today. Everything. It was meant for me to sell those monitors. It was meant for me to go into my friend's place. If I never went to my friend's place and I never saw that projection screen, I'd have never been here. All that was meant to be. That's why I say, when you naysayers come on here carrying on and acting up and trying to make me seem like I'm this, that, and the other, do you know the purpose of what I'm doing is bigger than you? Do you know who's involved in this? God himself is involved in what we do. It was meant for me to walk into my friend's house and see that screen, because that's what triggered it. That's what started the whole thing. All that was meant to be. I didn't have a YouTube account for screen paints. I had a YouTube account set up for gaming. That's what it was set up for computers and stuff like that. So you didn't even know who I was or anything about me whatsoever, but God knew who I was. It was meant for me, for that phone call, for my friend to call me up, for me to get up and walk down that street and go to his building and see that screen. That was all meant to be. And ever since then, those doors have been unlocking. I didn't even know it yet, that I was going to be on this path. I didn't even know it yet. I had no plans for it. I go in, I see that screen, I'm memorized by how big the screen is. I want the same thing myself, because I'm a tech junkie. He explains everything about the projectors. I'm thinking, oh, okay, this seems pretty easy. I mean, let's go invest some money in this. So I go out and I go sell off my monitors, because I don't have any money left, because I spent money on a 2011 server setup, and it was very expensive to do it. You have any idea how much money it costs for PC 3000 OCS overclock RAM? I was maxed out at 256 gigs. You know how much power it? Yeah, forget it. It was a lot of money. It was very expensive. But anyway, so anyway, I was maxed out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to sell the monitors. I sold the monitors because I really wanted that big screen. I wanted that big screen so badly. And the monitors weren't doing it for me. And that's why all of it started. It was meant for me, the monitors we sold. It was meant for me to fail and not have the projector work against the white wall. All that was in play for it to happen. Because all it did was just push me to figure out, okay, how do we get this work? 'Cause I'm one of the people like to figure things out. It's already dry already, by the way. So, make sure I get the back part of this one. Make sure this doesn't mess up my screen, most likely. So basically, yeah, I went to Home Depot as my buddy instructed me to do, and it was meant for the product not to be there. It was meant for it to fail. All that was meant to be. Sometimes when you go through failure as a Christian, that means success is right behind you. You're being set up for a success. Just because you fail doesn't mean you failed. You have not failed. It means you're being set up for the next level of success. That's what's coming. So it was meant for me to walk in a building. It was meant for me not to be able to have what I needed. It was meant for me to be able to feel like, you know what, I'm walking out of this. I'm going to go back and get my monitor. I'm done. I'm not doing this. For the Lord to speak to me and say, this is what you're going to do. And now I heard his voice. That's the second time. I heard his voice a couple of times. I heard him on the computers. I heard his voice speak to me. And I heard the same voice again when it came to the screen paints. And I don't know anything about this field at all. I'm a monitor guy. I don't do with projectors at the end of the day. Everything I have is monitors. If I was still doing a monitor guy, I'd be ranking on you freaking screen paint makers about how your stuff is less superior than an OLED. I probably have OLED TVs up in here by now. So I wouldn't even touch any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't even really be online until you'll be on computers. Because that's what I was doing. But anyway, so I listened. I went and grabbed everything he told me to grab, and even I had still doubt was still kicking in, like, man, this is maybe not going to work. And the Lord said, I told you, and that's the end of it, and that's the end. I shut my mouth, and I took the ride home, and I painted it up, and the screen blew up off the wall. To make sure he told me to put it in, it blew right up off the wall. And my buddy came in. Now, I didn't know what to do with this, because I'm looking at this like, oh, shoot. This is completely different. Like, it looks better. The colors are better. The contrast is better. Everything's better. You know, I'm not picking up black at the time. I didn't have black technology yet. But then I'm still thinking I'm seeing black. But anyway, my buddy comes in, and he goes, wow, this is freaking crazy. You should sell this. And then that's when it clicked. That's when I said, I should sell this. I wonder if I can get any money for that. I wonder if anyone will buy this. And that's why I started digital and crystal screen paint. And I'm still, like, thinking, like, who's going to buy paint? Like, in the back of my mind, like, it's paint at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Paint on your wall, and that's basically about it. I mean, who's going to buy this stuff at the end of the day? And the Lord said, this is what you want. This is what I'll get to you. And that's what happened. And I built the website, and next you know, my first order that went through, I got a picture of my first customer. I got my first dollar bill I ever made. I got it framed. I made $50. It was my first order. $50 for a quart. That's what I made. And when I seen that PayPal image pop up, I was like, I actually made money off of this. This actually made money. There's something to this. So I started doing tons and tons of research and watching all the other companies like Goo Screen, how they painted their screens in, how they did their setups, stuff like that. I noticed that a lot of companies didn't have videos. Everybody had pictures, so I did a bunch of videos. I did the opposite. And I went to forum sites, and I watched everybody over there. And everybody was like, hey, everybody's copying Goo Screen. It took hours and days to paint a screen in because it was craziness how we were doing. So, you know, we're going to paint a screen an hour or less. That's why for some people now saying an hour or less is a long time, at that particular time it was considered to be very short because it took longer than that to paint a screen in. So I started doing everything they weren't doing. I was doing the opposite of what they're doing. And the Lord was directing the charge because he was telling me all the demonstrations to do. Paint it on drywall. Paint it on any color surface. Don't have to prime. All this stuff that they were doing. They said you have to prime. You can't paint it on it. I was doing the opposite. And eventually I did enough of these videos, I started getting beta testers. And people contact me and say, hey, I'd like to be a beta tester for your company. And I said, why not? And this is where the Lord showed me how to make contracts. He showed me how to make legal contracts. All that information popped in my head. And I started writing these contracts out and sending them out. And next thing you know, I had people beta testing my stuff. From the beta testers, went from customer reviews. And we had customers that were basically talking about our products and how much you liked them. And this is before you guys ever existed. And then I got companies that got involved, and I was selling stuff to companies, and they were buying our stuff, and they were giving us reviews. And then after that, I was going in, and I had the company come in from overseas. They contacted us. That's why we have letters from Screen Innovation. This is why I can go and I can show you NWAs, non-disclosure agreements with companies that we're doing a lot of business with. But then I realized as I got into the field how people can be. How people can say one thing and do another thing. How you have to be careful because people will stab you in the back. And this is where you start developing your armor. This is where you start developing your defense system to be able to back your products. You go into forum sites, you're bumping into people that try to tear down your work and try to take from you. Gentlemen, this is not the first time I've been on this path. This is the first time I've been on this path with somebody who took it as far as you guys did. We had to go to court over this. But I've been through this before. I've defended my product on every level you can possibly think of. And I beat every single one of them. That's why I'm still here today and you're not. Whoopsie. That's the reason why I'm still here developing technology and you're not. I've been down this road many, many times. The very film site I walked into, I was challenged, and I beat every single one of them. I beat AVS Films to the point that they banned me off their site because I beat one of their top screen paint makers over there. So they know what I'm capable of doing. So there you go. So that's what you walked into. You walked into a den of lions. You basically saw kittens on the top, and you walked into a den of lions. That's what you did. And the only problem is when those doors shut behind you, they lock. And you're trapped in there with me now. Now look at your situation you're in right now. You're trapped in with me. It ain't going too well, is it? Businesses are not making any money. Everything's drying up around you. Everything's falling apart. And a lot of you are going to be hunted and thrown in jail. Not good. See? And all that time you tampered with a blessing that was given to me long before you were ever thought of on this earth. That blessing was made for me. Even though before I was thought of, that blessing was made for me. The Lord had for me. It was just a timeline of when he was going to give it to me. But, yeah, getting back to how I got my first house was that I didn't think I was even eligible for a house. I didn't think I made enough money. Apparently, I did make enough money. I just didn't know it. I was making that kind of money from the screen paints I was blessed to have. And the Lord blessed me to have that technology because he knew somewhere along the line that I was going to leave to where I was going to be at, and I needed the money to be able to do so. So he made it possible to have that. The Lord plans everything in your life. Now, whether you listen or not, it's up to you. If you want to be a person of the world, then you can't listen to the blessings that he has for you. You can't hear it. You can't see it. But for those that are Christians at the end of the day, we can see those blessings. We can see how the Lord is speaking to us. You can't see it. You're blinded by the wall, that's why. The blessings are there, you just can't have them. Everyone's blessed to have blessings. You can't have yours because you can't see it because you do the devil's work. That's why. So it was already set up for me to leave that place. And I'll never forget that here comes the devil, upset, angry, and bitter, trying to make trouble for me while I was in that place. These people didn't know me then. This is something else that was going on in that building I was in. Trying to make trouble for me. Told me that I had a certain amount of time to leave because there is something between the daughter who liked me, and I wasn't into the daughter. I didn't like her. I thought she was a very nice person, and I don't mess around with people and places that I work at or places that I live because it makes things complicated for you. I've never dated anybody in my neighborhood. If you know the old rule from back in the day, the old rule was you don't date people from your neighbor, you date people outside your neighborhood, so that way none of that trouble and nonsense comes back to your front door. That's how you do it. That's how I've been doing it from day one. It's a golden rule of mine. I never date anybody within my area, ever. So, no way in the world I was doing that. And she was a very nice person, but she wasn't my type at all. So basically, I helped her out with her kids and stuff like that, and, buy the kids toys and stuff. They're kids, they're cool kids at the end of the day. That's all I did. Some people take that as a sign of whatever you like them. I don't know how that goes anyway. But I'm in the business, I'm working. But anyway, finding out that I'm with my ex, because she saw me after my ex talking and having a conversation with her, because I was dating her, she became angry and upset and became bitter, and she started saying some very nasty things about me. And the mother, of course, as her family member, wanted me out of the building. So I said, no problem. I gave these people a lot of money while I was in there. I gave them a lot of money while I was in there. I paid more than what my rent was due because I knew they needed the help, and it was not a problem for me to help them out. But, people do what they do. So I didn't pay any mind. I remember I didn't have a dime in my account. I spent my money just because I was making it so fast, I was just spending it. And then we had a dry period for about 2 weeks. And I sat there and I walked across the street over into that graveyard in Cambia because I wasn't afraid. Why be afraid? And everybody in there, their souls are call back, and I'm protected the blood. It doesn't bother me being in a place like that. I sat there and had a lot of talks with the Lord. So I sat there and I remember sitting there and my heart was so heavy. It was so heavy because I just met this young lady. I liked her, she liked me, and things seemed to be working out quite well. And I'm thinking, man, if I get kicked out of this place, I'm going to be homeless. Or, I just got my business started, it's doing well, and I should have saved money, but I didn't. And I'm going to be out in the street. And I'm probably most likely going to have to go back down to Delaware. I got people down there that'll take me in, but I'm going to lose contact with this lady, and I'm going to lose forever. I just can't believe this is happening. Like, I felt so depressed. Very, very depressed. When I walked in there, when I came out of that graveyard, I was the happiest man on the face of the planet. You would have thought I won $1 million. Having a conversation with the Lord. He said, don't worry, it's taken care of. It is all taken care of. Don't worry about it. I got your back. That's it. I was happy. You got to have that faith, belief, no doubt, nothing. Walk there as happy can be. Lord said, start packing your stuff up now. I ain't got a dime in my account. Start packing everything up. Get ready. It's coming. Start packing all my stuff up. I got money in my. I got a lot of money. I got money in my account. So I'm paid. I'm good. But at that particular time, though, starting off, I was really badly off. I was making money, but I was spending as fast as I could get. I had like 20 pairs of sneakers and stuff like that. I was just blowing it like crazy because money was coming like crazy. So I didn't really save anything because, again, I'm living in a rented room. I don't have any kids. I'm not married or anything, so who am I going to spend it on but me? That's it. And we gave me some money out to my buddies and my friends that they needed something. I had their back and gave them money for that. So, it's just me. So I ain't have a pet, so it's just me. So anyway, so now I'm heavy-hearted, I'm light-hearted coming in, I'm happy. I start packing all my stuff up, get everything packed up. It was to pack it up. Matter of fact, I got pictures showing my place when I left. I got pictures of every place that I left from. Even the place up to I got videos. I never show them. Those I don't show. So I got everything all packed up and everything. And then no sooner than that, I go to my PayPal account, it's $700 in my account. Someone put an order through, $700 for my great paints. So I went in and I took the money, and the Lord told me, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get a storage unit. I got a storage unit. Put all your stuff in a storage unit. Call my buddy up. My buddy came up. I paid him $100. We took all our stuff and we put it in the storage unit. My place was empty up there. There was nothing up there. So I moved everything out. So we still needed a house. So then I kept praying, put in the Lord's hands, and then that week we got orders every freaking day. I had $3,700 in my banking account, in my PayPal account, in 2 weeks. That's it, $3,700. I was like, wow. I'm looking at this. I call her up. I said, oh, we're good. We're definitely good. Lord came through. We got the money. We can get a house. Now, as the next stage, can I get a house? Because, I never had one before. I never rented a house ever. I rented was rooms. Do I have the ability to get a house? Will anybody trust me with what I'm making? My business at the end of the day. Will they trust my business? I don't work an actual job. I have a company. Well, will they trust me to say, hey, I'll trust this guy. You can rent my house out. So I printed all my PayPal receipts out and everything I made on my company. And I went in and I went to an agency and I contacted them. I showed them everything I had. I made more than the average person that was coming in there because I didn't realize how much I was making. And when I showed them the receipts, she was like, whoa. She was like, okay. What would you like? What would you need? What do you need? And I'm here like, oh, okay. They didn't care about credit. The whole thing about credit thing. Yeah, right. Get around those. Anyway, because I said my credit's really bad. She said, at this particular point, who cares? That's what she said. At this particular point, who cares? So the Lord also, too, will show you favoritism. For Christians who know this. Those of you that don't serve at the end of the day, or should be serving, we get favoritism. Doors automatically open up for us. Because Lord's people are favored. So doors open us for us. We get opportunities that will come to us because we have favoritism. So you're saying, don't worry about it. My credit's bad. We don't really care about that. Now it's okay, cool. We just have to find you somebody that will rent the house to you now. So they're downstairs, trying to make trouble for me and carrying on and acting. The whole family turned on me. It was just awful. It turned on me. That's the devil right there. Family turned on me. And it just got awful. The only one it didn't was the son. And me and his son were good friends. We're best friends. And even he was baffled by what was going on. But anyway, so be it. And they carried on and acted up, and stuff like that. And we went and saw this house. I saw a house. Several houses. Me and her went to several houses. And I saw one house and we liked it. It was the house we liked. That's when we went. That's one on August Street. That's when I liked it. And I put in a bid for it. And the guy said that he wanted credit, but I told him, I said, we'll pay 4 instead of 3. And he said, no problem. No problem with that. That's what I told the restaurant. If you want, he said, when I went to agency, they said, well, you might want credit. I said, tell him we'll give him 4. I'll give him 4 or 5, whatever he wants. And she said, oh, no problem. And she contacted him. And we didn't know we had the house. We literally got it already. We didn't know it. So it's Wednesday. It's Thursday. And they're down there. I'm there doing my videos and stuff. And she knocks on the door. I wasn't doing live door regular. She knocks on the door. She said, Mr. So-and-so. I'm going to need you out by a certain date now. They're not being nasty about it. All right, no problem. Okay. So now we got to be out. At least I know I got money in my account. We can go to a hotel room or something. I can go to a hotel room sometimes until I find a place I can resume from there. But at least I got something. This is after, mind you, I've given these people over roughly $10,000. Help them get their roof repaired, help them get their basement cleaned out, electric work, all that stuff. Way over more than what I was paying to be in that place. And they treated me like that. But I know, I got no hatred toward anybody. Everybody got answers for what they do in the end. So, I said, okay, no problem. So, it was Thursday, and I decided to call to see if we got the house, because no one called us back. When I called in, and they say, oh, Mr. Bird, how you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. I said, did I get any word on the house? And they said, oh, Mr. Bird, you got the house. I was like, what? So you got the house? I said, are you kidding me? We got the house? We got it. We got the house. I called her up and said, we got the house. We got the house. I got my first house. I'm in my first house. See how amazing God is. So when I think back to when I was working with computers, I made money with computers, but not the kind of money I make now. I think back that the day that I basically sold my machines, the day that I got and walked into that place and saw that giant screen, all that was meant to happen. All that was meant to happen. Did you know that, naysayers? My path. You didn't know that, did you? So the path that I'm on right now is the path that I've been following since that day. And that's the path you walked on and you challenged God. Not me. You challenged God. This is His divine work at the end of the day. And you challenged it. You've done everything you could possibly think of. You have taken this blessing and you have stepped on it, urinated on it. Oh, yeah, you had. Don't run. Can't run from God. You can leave here if you want, but you can't run from Him. Just remember that. You can run anywhere you want in the world. You can go travel. You can go anywhere you want. You can't run from God. That's what you did to His blessings. You stepped on it. You urinated. You spit it on it. You did all kinds of stuff. You did everything the devil wanted you to do, but you did no damage whatsoever. You only did damage to yourself. So no matter where you go, you have to deal with that. And if you're not saved, when the Lord calls you back, you're in that book of life. Everything you did to me is written in that book of life. You'll have to pay for that in the next life. You can pay for it now. If the Lord had no mercy on you and you decide to take 2 steps to the left, that devil, that demon, the one that told you to do all those things, will come into your house and cause chaos on a level you would not believe. You'll watch demon possessions on a level that makes The Exorcist look like a Disney movie. He's just going to collect a little faster, that's all. You have no idea what you're in, what you're in for. But y'all keep following down that road. You don't live forever. What you think? You'll be here tomorrow, the day after the day? Don't think that way, because you don't know what tomorrow will bring. Never sit there and say that I'm going to be here tomorrow, because you don't know that. There are plenty of people who've made that statement when they got up in the morning, did not come back. It didn't make you any different. But yeah, we got the house. We got the house, one in, paid. He only asked for 3. He wouldn't ask for the 4. He just liked the fact that we did have we could pay it. So we paid the 3. And then we went out and we bought a lot of stuff. We bought furniture. I bought her gaming room. I got my gaming room. We got all new cell phones, got new gear and clothing. We shopped for all that. And then my banking account was roughly down to, I would say, $37. Now, I'm a little nervous here because I'm used to renting a room. I'm not used to having utility bills and all the stuff I have to pay for expenses. Can my company stay afloat? Can it continue on for me to take care of this person? Can I do this? Can I take care of this person? The next day I woke up at $2,100 in my account. Came from overseas. They bought $2,100. And I woke up and said, look, we got $2,100. She worked too. She worked at airport. She made a lot of money. She worked hard. She had a very good job. She worked hard. She didn't worry about it. She said, if anything happens, anything slow down, I got your back. That's a nice thing to hear. I got your back. I've never heard that before. I always usually take care of everything myself. So I said, okay, that's great to know that I got somebody got my back. But still, as a man at the end of the day, and I was raised to be a man, you take care of everything. That's the way I was brought up. No half and halves. I know people married do half and halves. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised, we pay for everything. I'm the man. I provide for everything. So I can't deal that. Because I know at the end of the day, I'll work a regular job. I'll go and work a regular job, work a 9 to 5. I'll quit all that just basically to do what I got to do. Because that's the way I was raised. But Lord said, no, I got you. Did I not bring you out of all of that? I got you. Have faith. And so I woke up, I look at my account, it's $2,100. Look at me in the face, I'm going, oh, okay. So we put that in the bank. Now we cool. We got the money. We paid up again on our rent. As a matter of fact, I was paying up on my rent an extra month early. So that way, if I ever fell behind, we already had a month up. So by the time we got out of there, they owed us money. As a matter of fact, I bought a new refrigerator. The refrigerator was another blessing because we got the refrigerator and got to come for the refrigerator. He's a very nice guy. But I said, don't worry about it. We got it. We'll get a refrigerator. Don't worry about it. I'm just happy to be there. You know what I mean? I don't care. So we go looking for I go looking for a refrigerator. She's at work and I go looking for a refrigerator with my buddy. And I contact my buddy. I said, yo, I got looking for refrigerators. You know anybody got one? He says, no, I don't know. I got one. I go to Craigslist and I find a refrigerator for about I know it was $100 for fridge. I never forget that. The Lord directed me where to go. Boom, right there. He said, that's where you're going. I looked in there, there's a refrigerator for $100. I said, oh, I want that. I want that refrigerator, Lord. He said, go get it. Got the money out of my account, went down, and the guy was out there at the refrigerator plugged in outside in a heat wave, and it was cold, blowing out of the refrigerator. It was one of the old-fashioned ones. The refrigerator was cold. And a heat wave. That's how good that refrigerator was. I was like, oh, I want this. He said, yeah, last guy came in, he was trying to get me for $50. I said, that's messed up. I said, how much you want for it? He said, $100. I said, I'll give you 2. Because it's worth its weight in gold. See, that's the thing about it is, it's not hard for me to give him that extra $100. You know why? Because this is a man trying to make some money at the end of the day. I got a good refrigerator at the end of the day, and I got blessed at the end of the day. So I'm going to take that blessing, I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. So that's what I believe in. So he said, why give me 2? Okay, $200. So I gave $200. He was cool with this. I got an ice maker. Then I had the ice maker too. Bought the ice maker. I said, thank you so much. Thanks for doing business with you. But he loaded it on the truck. Gave him $75 because I had no extra money. $75 for him. But to pay him $75 for the no. Because he's a man. He's working. He got to make money too. So if I got that money coming in and I'm making that money, why not give them more? I ain't about basically trying to skim everybody, trying to cheat them as much as I probably can save more for myself. I ain't about that. If I got it, I give it. Because again, I'm always going to have it because the Lord always blesses my hand. And that's a blessing I can pass on to another person. So I gave him $75, help him out. He helped me bring the refrigerator. We plugged it in. Man, it was ice cold, man. It was beautiful. And that refrigerator is probably still working to this day. As a matter of fact, when I left out of there, I left the refrigerator behind. I left it for the next person to have. That's their blessing for them. That's how I do business, gentlemen. With anything around me, I make sure whatever I'm blessed to have, I pass along. I can have $3 in my pocket. Someone asks me for money, they get that $3. Because I know I'm always going to have that blessing. It's always going to come to me. It's always going to come back to me, always. Yep. So what you tried to stop was destiny. That's why you failed. That's why everything you tried failed. Because from the day that I basically walked into my friend's house and saw that screen, that's when that destiny started. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than everything. It's my blessing from God, and that's what you tried to stop. So what do you think the outcome of this is going to be? Mind you, I've been here for a very long time. I've watched all types of people, companies, whatever, try to stop my blessing, and every single one of them has failed, and some of them has not turned out in very good ways. I've watched entire companies implode. I watch all kinds of sickness, all kinds of stuff, because you're messing with something you should not be messing with. You didn't see all the stuff you guys have tried down through time? Where's it got you at? Look at your track record compared to mine. I'm going to the next level. I'm reaching that plateau. And where are you going? You got nothing to show for it but lengthy jail time and massive lawsuits. It ain't worth it. Following the devil. I'm taking this thing outside too. It's amazing. In the blink of an eye. That's what I said. Not worth it. You can't stop this. This is just me. This is divine. It comes from God. That voice I heard, that comes from God. You can't stop this. You're trying to go against something that is the very existence of what you are. How do you stop that? You can't become an enemy to me. You can't attack me. You can't destroy me. The one who protects me is the one that's the reason why your heart is beating in your chest right now. Why you have the ability to commit the sin that you commit right now. If God decided right now, on his throne, that all this comes to an end, you no longer exist anymore. You drop, God forbid, never wish on anybody, have a heart attack. There's no doctor on the face of the planet that could help you. Your time has been called. Hey, think about that. And yeah, I expect you to do dumb stuff because you are going to do it. You follow the Satan. Satan is the prince of lies. He's collecting you. Keep in mind, it's not about screen paint for him. It's about collecting souls for the day of Armageddon. That's what it's about for him. You've already enlisted in his army, and he plans not to let you leave. You will not AWOL from his army. You will stay there to fight for him. That's what you will do. Even though it means your damnation, you will fight for him. And the only way out of that is salvation, which you choose not to have because you're so full of hatred, which he's embedded in you. You can't get out of that loophole, you're in a lot of trouble. Don't worry about lawsuits. Don't worry about lengthy prison time. Worry about your salvation at the end of the day, because that's when it's going to matter the most, when you leave off this earth. Till then, I got to get this thing up here and get it tested. That up there, that done. I'm also basically, on my website, we're putting in information about basically our company's change and what we're going to be doing. Also, too, that we're still going to be dealing with customers, and we have to have that posted all the sites. You can just have it on YouTube, and YouTube, it'll blow anywhere. We have to have it all documented. Everything has to be documented to the website. So that's what I've been doing back and forth. Oh, man. Crankies. I got to get this done. I think this is properly dry. All right, we come back in. We're going to put this up against our product. I guess I'll be setting that projector up over there because this one's already packed up and ready to go. Don't want to be outside playing around today. Gonna be here June the 1st. June the 1st, we'll be in here because I paid $30. This thing was not cheap. It's not a cheap package. I paid $30 for that thing. That freaking restriction and signature confirm is expensive. Jeez, that's only like $12. Oh, good gracious, man. Woo. All right, we'll be back to get this set up.